Yes, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night. Okay, before I do this. Oh, is the game capture? It's the game capture's not even working. Dun, 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 I gotta finish this Tomodachi Life minigame. This final boss is pretty hard. You lied, you're gonna be longer than 10. Well, I'm still doing this Tomodachi Life game. Oh my god! Can you stop it? Da 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 Disco Ball, you should be. Oh my gosh. By now, you should be dead. Please, this battle is taking so long. Maybe heal yourself, bud. Come on. Crit, yes. Yay, I did it. Okay, here we go. Aha! It's me! Hello, Sholmes. Okay, we're doing the deduction. Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear that you find yourself in something of a predicament.
What the blue blazes have you been, eh?
Pardon?
When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there. Straight away! Not an hour later.
Harsh. It's me, Benedict Cumberbatch. And who, pray tell, are you? I'm Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch. That name sounds familiar. You have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon? The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. Well, that's how it usually goes. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Cumberbatch, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg.
It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction.
Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I'd hoped. There's no I'd. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. I'm going to wear that expression in a couple of hours when I get shot. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Sherlock Sholmes logic and reasoning spectacular. The game is afoot. Here we are. Dun, 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 dun. Mystery Man's aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you have ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having read the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is that staff recruitment flyer. You're jobless. This piece of Mr. Cumberbatch, surely you haven't your acting career. This piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement for this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need for such an employee, whatever. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly clutch to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What a lot of rot. I've had this cane for years. The contradiction for which I speak of is, of course, the missing ferrule. I love how they point at it right away. The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect its wooden tip. Oh, here I am! And yet, the detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. A detailed analysis. I needed Mr. Ryusei to help me perform a scientific investigation upon this cane to determine there's no metal. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. Oh, I heard that sound effect. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. But what? The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle? Mused I. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod is the broken handle of a shovel. Mr. Sholmes, that's a spade. Shut up. Your team's spade, are you, Miss Susato? You're wrong. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Can't believe he's on my side for this one. Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. God. Here we go. Now, Mr. Cumberbatch, let us continue. Benedict Cumberbatch. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have been planning. This is utterly absurd. Is it just that I, as a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Look at my dance. Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Say for such fanciful theory, what possible reason would I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, you and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this to covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter which your eyes were advertently drawn. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath the shop runs a sewer that adjoins another. One that runs under the I have hiccups, sorry. Under the bank of the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity. You see, your plot is so boring, I'm getting tired of it. Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch, that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you... In summary, sir? You devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by the dint of an underground tunnel. Dint of underground, whatever. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. But what plunder did the thief hope to make from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? No, not really. My voice acting has no effort right now. Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer's no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch? I've no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Okay, well, I guess I'll do this all over again for you then. No, Mr. Sholmes, please, just continue. Okay. Currently in the final stage of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway. And the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank, on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of that bank. The special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition, not reverse. Reserve. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. I just shared top secret information. Mr. Naruhodo, do as I say, not as I do. Okay, I can... Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. Well, I'm gonna release government secrets, not top secret information. Mr. Sholmes. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? An impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true what you said about the bank over the road? And what it has in its vault? Indeed. Though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Oh, it's a government secret. Gregson told me in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here. Rather loudly, in fact. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch have come to find out about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly it is because the man is a criminal! But what if he hadn't known anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've revealed the secret. Oh. Or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Winterbank will. He already has plenty of shovels here, after all. Oh, my life! I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous. I've been here the whole time. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost care, Mr. Naruhodo. Please remember that. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm gonna do as you do, not as you say. No, Mr. Naruhodo, that's the opposite of what I told you. No one can be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them. Once word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice. Oh, perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yes. Let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into place? Is that what he said? Very well then, let's start once more from the beginning. We're going to do this 10 more times, so strap in. Of Herlock Sholmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular.
Spectacular.
There we go. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. I've already said all this stuff, so I don't need to say it again. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor.
Yes, in an attempt to tunnel through the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he?
No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch here at this particular point in time? Excuse me, I'm just gonna step around you real quick. Scribbled writing. Excuse me, what does this say here?
Oh. Look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here.
I don't believe it.
What is it?
Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade, height 5'2". Oh my gosh. Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade.
Goodness!
There's even a sketch of her, hat and all. That's better than I can draw. Although, if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure.
And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windibank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15th April.
Which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? Is that it? Hi, sir. What's on the top of your hat? Nothing. Okay. Wait, I already did this. Boom. Yes, what brought you to the shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing in the sketch of on the reverse of the flyer pertained to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade and to Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery here. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade and stole the redemption ticket from you. Did that say what I thought it said? But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today. By which I mean, here to Windibank's pawnbrokery, and today the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you've written down to arrive. And you've gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit. Did someone say, not now, Mr. Naruhodo, of Miss Lestrade? In other words, there's some ulterior motive for your actions. Okay. What's a ferrule?
It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo.
That bit makes sense. Oh, that bit makes a nice clacking sound on the pavement?
Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane.
It doesn't actually look broken, does it?
No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious.
In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we not know. Excuse me. AG. The initialing. Look here, Mrs. Ethel. There are some letters on the handle.
Yes. Those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names.
Oh, so Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean?
That's right.
No, that's my that's my descendant, not my ancestor.
And the initials on this cane, obviously... Oh.
AG? Why does that feel as though that's not quite right? The contradiction of which I speak of is a little bit... The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initial name. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. I mean, wait, BC. Yet in the most possessive manner you have in your hand, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed. Would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't. You said before that you'd had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, you're short. Though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. Let's go, let's go. Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat, and now a mysterious man has appeared introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him.
But we know he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything he's told us is untrue.
So what we need to do here is somewhat prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. Oh hey, look at that.
Oh, the seam on the shoulder is coming apart, look.
So it is. Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch was surprised by something that was said, I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl.
But now I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open.
If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting, and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening it at the front. If we were to run around it... Oh, if he were to run around it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. Sorry?
We make this run around.
Oh dear. She's really giving this some thought. We're not going to make him run.
The milk tea is kind of bland.
Usually you need put sugar.
I did put sugar.
The split seam, which you evidently would like to try to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, see? Ah. That was so good. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. Mr. Sholmes worded differently. When you so badly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. Ah. This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Winterbank. Ah! Spins. Like graceful spin, you see that? What really irks me is this. The considerable crime, I initially imagined this has been considerably curtailed. Hey look, April 15th, that's the day. Yep. To abscond with a redeemed item. Ah, the great exhibition. Oh, this is type B. Now, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch, let us continue. For we must expose the details. Okay, I've said this before.
Oh no. What in the JoJo?
What in the JoJo's? How can I possibly know the relevant details, Nessa-pa? Oh, Nespa? Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too what did I just say? Too well aware, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What?
What?
What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawn property of another. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter, which your eyes were... It was the gun. It's the gun.
The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think.
Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers. Which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword.
Yes, Professor.
That sounds familiar. That's probably not going to be important in the future.
Probably not. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windenbank would never allow you to redeem the article.
Or, looking at it another way, if you did know the word, Mr. Windenbank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword somehow? Yeah. The dog! The scales of justice! Did someone say justice? We're not playing your game today, Apollo.
Follow, go.
It's the gun. This is Mr. Windenbank's gun.
Yes, loaded with only one bullet, he said.
That's probably not important.
Probably not. It would appear that being a pawnbroker is a very life or death profession.
That might just be part of this particular establishment. Okay, wait, what?
These pearls, these tapioca pearls are kind of good.
Tapioca pearls I make at work take an hour. Okay, what? What? Old lamp. The shovels.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's a spade.
No, it isn't. No, it's not. No, it's not. Look at this, Miss Susato.
Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windenbank has scribbled to himself.
Let's see. What does it say? Professor. That's probably not important.
Well,
Mr. Windenbank must make note of the watchwords as his customers give to him right before their eyes. And an alarmingly clear script as well.
oh dear. I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see?
KG probably couldn't read it. No
Poor
lit.
guy.
Kure! The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter of which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for a watchword and then notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. Yep, that's words I understand. Then he consults his ledger and confronts whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I'd expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? Half the time I have no idea. It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop before your accusation against Mr. Strahd. Flashback. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windenbank. When the diligent broker made note of the watchword, as is common practice, you observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. Based? I assure you it's quite based. And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan? So much emotion. Which brings us to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? No, I'm Sholmes. For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had a very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch? I've no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us what we need to know. The article we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets.
Which, according to Mr. Windybanks, isn't even worth a penny.
And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why?
I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Could we? Really? I'd better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far. One thing! Obviously it's this. My armband.
Obviously.
Kazuma's armband. It's this.
Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck on the reverse side of the disc. Look. A scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. Or McGilded.
McGilded? It couldn't be.
But it is, Mr. Naruhodo.
Let's burn it!
No! A name I shall never forget for as long as I live.
If we burn it, you can forget it. But why? Why is his name on this? Look at all this. Look at this grand court record I have here. 2 pieces of evidence. You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. Music box disc. I'd like to see Kazuma try that. What's that on the back? It reads for McGilded. Mr. Sholmes, how did you know? I can read the English language. Ah. Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Hate that guy. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished in the curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, those lone maundering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. What am I saying? So you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you squeezed yourself into. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Edgar Benedict Cumberbatch. But the final conclusion here is the crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today... Boom. Was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded.
I found the thread that Bishop was reading earlier, the one about minor phobia.
Oh my god. Solved.
Solved.
Deduction complete. Elementary.
Ooh, elementary.
Yeah, I've never failed the dance of deduction. I'm so happy. I'm
Too good.
too good. Well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. Jacksepticeye. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances.
Mr. What now? I spaced out. Like 2
Mr.
seconds.
Jacksepticeye.
Oh. Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
I don't care. Pray tell, Miss Susato.
Well, according to what Mr. Windenbank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the code could have been redeemed, was it not? Wow, so
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is 15th of April, so 2 months ago today. Would have been the 15th February, sir, that's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests...
Yes. 15th February.
It's precisely the day that... This is me! Precisely the day which the omnibus murder took place!
And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding.
When what's his name was dying.
Oh.
Thrice fired Mason. Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence, Belond. Yeah.
Belong.
You are of course at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose, however. Whoa!
Oh.
I must
Okay.
whoa!
Oh.
I must insist
Whoa.
you hand over the music box disc now.
Okay.
I forgot. I thought he was just gonna like JoJo pose at me, bro.
I mean, he's JoJo posing.
It's like the paper clip. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. Hey, that
I mean,
sounds. That's
sounds-
just like
I mean, he left in a box, so-
Gregson.
Oh, Greg's
He in a box. What do I
He
do?
left in a box, so.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna get shot. Kazuma, I'm coming. No, there's some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not. Mr. Windibank! This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life. Mr. Windibank, no! Right, that's enough.
Gregson! Woohoo!
Well, losers. Inspector Gregson! Inspector. That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our... The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines. Yep. So go as fast as we could. Now what's all this about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment.
He's so
Dying in my own establishment. I couldn't imagine that happening. It would seem you have the upper hand. Is it legal for him to have a gun right now?
I'm pretty sure it's legal.
Ba ba ba. Well, you lot got some explaining to do. And I appreciate being bothered with some pretty petty argy-bargy. Oh,
Petty.
petty?
Mr. Windibank very nearly met with his end.
Yeah, well, his own gun as far as I could tell. Oh dear. And the whole of Britain can meet with his end if I don't get to the bottom of this case I'm supposed to be working on. What? What on earth is this case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. Did you forget I'm here? Yeah. Trying to ignore you. I might have said a little too much. No matter. It's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. He's getting away! Get after him, lads. What's the whistle the beat officer do? Sir! Sure! It's Officer Mike Meekins. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. So fit emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. What do the buttons do? How do they work? Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning. Yes? We're saying that whatever it is of McGill is down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Yes, of course.
Government secret. Don't give it to them. It's mine. This hat is mine.
Sorry, miss. Anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in evidence now. As evidence? If the police demand such something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. I've experienced it firsthand. Now it's all yours, Inspector. Grrr, Gina. And so we handed Mr. McGilded's disc over to Inspector Gregson. And were summarily toughed out of the shop and onto the street. I think Gina is the ancestor of Emma and Lana.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking that, but at the same time, I'm like stuck between Iris as Emma's ancestor.
Where
Like
am I
Emma
saving
and
this?
Gina.
Why was I playing Return of the Great Departed Soul?
Why were you playing Great Departed Soul?
I don't know. All right, Sholmes, let's have a dinner. Let's have a dinner party and
Dinner date.
have you get shot.
Alright. See? That's why I ain't grown-ups.
You eat grown-ups? No, I ate him. You wait. What is she saying?
I don't know, isn't that how the... All they do is feed you a pack of lies and they stuff away from you. Take stuff away from you.
Oh, really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm?
What?
You what, mate?
Oh my. Surely you were given that. Surely you were given that. Yeah. Did he let me keep it? Drew, after I looked at daggers at him long enough.
I love this track.
He went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it. Before telling me to scap up. Always pays off, giving people a look like you ate them.
You ate people? I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into some serious trouble one day. Relax, it's not like I'm going to get framed for murder or anything.
What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc of mine. The music box disc? What?
But Mr. Windsorbank said it was practically worthless.
I think I'm gonna go have another bash. Give him a long ad stare.
It's okay. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Winterbanks again today. Yes, we shall do it tomorrow morning at
Why
1
not?
a.m. It's not... Okay, well, Miss Lestrade, you're going to return at 1 a.m. anyway. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating at the scene. Oh my god, she turned to look at me. That's weird. I don't remember that happening. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Winterbank.
That disc's mine. That disc's mine. I had the ticket for this coat and it was in this coat's pocket.
Where is Sholmes looking right now? Because the way he's
Darian.
looking, he's like looking straight above her head.
Darian.
It's like, oh hey, I'm
Like,
here too. I saw what's going on outside. From outside.
He's like he's like with Gregson and stuff. And it should be something else and all. That's what the rotten coat said, isn't it?
Oh, why are you here again? Well, okay, well this one wasn't my fault, you know that, Gregson? Yes, he did. Ooh, yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he?
Well then, that's mine too. Whatever it is.
Now she's really pushing her luck. Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for today, for the day. The killer done delivered the bear.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Sholmes.
What? How dare you? So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening?
Eh?
Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure. And I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. Now that I have that back now, you know.
No. Tough.
Oh.
I'm gonna come around your place, eh? Have you lost your beds or something?
I show you, it's quite sound on my shoulder. Oh, there she goes. Okay.
There she goes. Oh dear, she's gone.
Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't...
Unnecessary.
Shut up. Ah! Okay, I can't help wondering. Perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guest at the dinner table this evening. We have a dinner table? And one more thing. I shall be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Oh, how exciting! What is it?
It's a bomb. I shall leave you to wait and see, Mr. Sito. Until later then. There he goes, skipping into his house. Skipping and laughing to himself.
He's like running over to Darian. Now look, and he's like, Darian, did you see how cool I looked with them?
Yes, absolutely. You are amazing in there.
Ah, Susie and Runa, come in, come in.
Good afternoon, Iris.
Thank you so much for breakfast this morning.
It took us how many hours to get that deduction done, and now it's noon? It's afternoon.
Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already.
But busy as always? That's
I
me.
am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Already? You're obviously cooking up something special, are you?
Let her cook, let her cook. Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us.
It's the queen!
What? No, Iris,
Yes,
that's
can we
later.
please go on? You'll never guess.
Look at those little eyes of hers shining.
Oh dear. This is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it?
Not really.
It's Ginny. Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise. Yes, that's wonderful news.
Wow. Iris seems overjoyed at the idea.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional. No?
Ah, yes, that does sound like fun.
No. I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate.
Maybe I
Sorry.
could steal some good ideas for court. By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to?
Really? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Hello? Mr. Sholmes? I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. I don't know how to respond to that.
We do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
I don't know who you are. I'm not here. You can't see me.
Darian strides.
Yes, I see.
Maybe. He behaves just like a child sometimes. Ellie does.
He reminds me of Deca Green. Yeah. You know, in Tokusou Sentai, Deca Ranger. Senchan.
Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they? Okay,
Yes,
but which
except
one's
that
the
Iris is clearly the parent here. John and I are mother and child. Yes, John is my mother. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are.
parent? What's the matter, Rena? You have ever such a funny look on your face.
Where are your parents? No, it's nothing.
I know what it is.
Hmm?
Why does this girl live with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right?
Not really, but how did you...
Oh, Rena. I read you like a book.
But I'm a lawyer? This girl is dangerous.
Don't worry. You can ask me anything. I won't mind.
Okay. Ginny.
Jenny!
So by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McGilda case 2 months ago, right?
Yes. Who else stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher? Although, after that trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're both the best of friends. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can.
That's...
Oh. And I
oh my god.
And I chase after her down the back alleys.
Interesting idea of friendship. Well, the first time I met Kazuma, he chased me down and asked me how the hell was I so good at talking.
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh. There are so many beautiful colors in the world. Jenny wants to make a whole rainbow.
Is she trying to tell us something, or?
Trying to tell us something?
I suppose this means you've let Liz Mistrad? Absolutely. Yes. Liz Mistrad keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yes, that's right.
You know, if I did that for Sherlock Holmes, it'd be Sherlock Holmes. It sounds weird.
I feel bored of it anyway. Ellie wants to react. Ellie always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Don't shoot your father. Or Hurley.
Oh, I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she does actually come. Why are you living with this man here?
I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
No, but sure. Well, it has crossed my mind. Whoops. That and where are your real parents?
My mummy and daddy aren't with me anymore. But I do have my brother Asta. Mommy passed away when I was born. And at around the same time, my father, well, he had to go to a faraway land because one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
Faraway. Is the faraway land possibly the heavens on the clouds? Keiji! Keiji, shut up! Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley?
Yeah. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysteries cases together.
Mr. Sholmes? Shut up, I'm not here. Shouldn't mention that before.
What's in that suitcase? He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there.
A suitcase? Oh, it's probably
Last
a
week
body.
he drunk.
Really? He recorded them all? Is that true, Mr. Valiant? Yep.
You mean it's true, Mr. Sholmes? Really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases?
He avoided tax.
Oh, yeah.
He did tax evasion as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes. I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
Yep, it's nice to have a partner.
No, please don't cry.
No, it's okay. Keep going, Iris. So, Mr. Sholmes' partner.
Oh dear.
Partner. Was your father?
Exactly. Ellie told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest. But that only made me want to look even more. So I opened it up. And found your father's memoirs. Yes. So I asked Ellie, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me. That's when I found out what the author of all these accounts was my father.
Darian in the corner just like... What? What did you tell her? I'm not here, Darian. You can't see me. So Iris's father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. I had a partner once. I miss him. I really miss my partner.
I practically lived with Harry all my life. I was tiny when he took me.
I really miss my partner!
So, came as quite as a shock.
It came as a shock to me when I found out my partner was dead.
Mr. Nadahoda, please
do
stop
we get
talking.
it? And Harry told me he wasn't really my dad. No.
It must have done.
I wonder wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you. Such your name.
Yeah, why did you, Sholmes?
Yeah, why?
Like I said, I'm not here, you can't see me.
Yeah, why did you, Daddy? Daddy says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Oh? Well, having lived with Harry all these years, he may say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just... Like, see, I'm gonna shut up. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouth sometimes.
You're perceiving?
Perceive.
Right. That sounds like a cool gimmick in an investigation game.
For real. Anyways, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, actually.
Actually.
Actually. I'd always assumed Mr. Holmes simply told you all those thrilling stories. Oh no, Harry's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solves the case, it all but vanishes from his mind.
That's me every time I go for a math test.
Sorry. Oh, I see. The other day, it was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case we just solved.
What, did a guy come to thank him and then he's like, who are you?
But the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again.
Oh dear. Ah!
It was quite a shock for everyone.
You know what was a shock? Me finding out my partner was dead.
Naruhodo, shut up.
You can say that again. Mr. Naruhodo, shut up. Oh, okay. Not that one.
You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. And then from his diary, he's a doctor of medicine. That's what prompted me studying studies so that I could learn a doctorate as well. And a doctorate.
Okay, well, at least it wasn't as, you know, consuming as KG's reason for studying medicine. That's so rude! What do you... Okay, sorry, my bad. I'm not feeling good. Iris's father, who went to some distant land,
So,
is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. People thought I killed that guy. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke of Naruhodo Ryunosuke. We're in Japan. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in a most bizarre circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Miss Susato,
yes.
perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time.
I think that would be for the best.
Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you!
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
I've been here the whole time, did you forget about me? Have you noticed? Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now.
Oh, I
So.
see how that...
How the devil are you?
I can see how the models here is different from AJ.
We've been with you for most of the day. Goodness, really?
Do tell, Mr. Sholmes. Your violin up gay?
They don't have a random thick outline of their characters for some reason. My violin. Whatever you're talking about, dear madam.
And there's like more sculpting around their like faces, and there's like more definition. Oh,
Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows.
sword. Oh, a music box disc.
No, not another disc, Miss Susato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGilded's disc.
Why?
Then, what's it doing here? You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable talent for detection, it may well be even more adept at larceny. I may well be even more adept at larceny.
You're not very adept at speaking, Harley.
That would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant. And Marina could be our go-to lawyer if we ever get caught.
Hey, this sounds familiar. Right.
Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting. She could write all our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted.
I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Let's not talk to him.
She's so cute.
Oh, you're right, okay.
So tiny.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Oh, look, it's back. Now this is really Mr. Sholm's faithful performing partner then. The Stradivarius? Nope, it's no good. It's gone. The virtuoso's violin that he found in the pawnbrokers and managed to buy for next to nothing.
After all, we went through to get it back. You just cast it aside on that chair.
Oops.
I was looking forward to hearing that beautiful song that makes Mr. Sholmes.
It does look rather sorry for itself there, doesn't it? Although, at least Wagahaya hasn't attacked it yet, even if his eyes are saying it's only a matter of time. Okay, fine, we'll talk to you, Mr. Sholmes. I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
That's a bar of chocolate, Mr. Sholmes.
Caramel.
Or
Caramel.
caramel.
Chocolate?
Sorry, I don't want chocolate right now.
You and your only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. Checking that whatever is a McGilden's down to you think? I'm too lazy to speak right here. And see how I took it in my hands and gave it to Gregson? I duped him! For the briefest of moments I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars, like this. That's amazing! The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image into the caramel. Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of precisely controlled solution. This is chemistry right here.
Oh, extraordinary.
Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves quite useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press and its unique form is duplicated. That's not good.
That is not good.
I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment. Yes, it sounds illegal. We'll ask Mr. Valiant over there what he did in his time as the key to Scotland Yard. He didn't unlock just cases, you know that. He unlocked doors as well. Physically. Okay, Sholmes, let's not talk about this right now. Talk about the disc. From the image, I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played.
Bye. Bye. Ano ni? Nakapili naka-okay ni. May back. Right, puting.
Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes, what music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. No idea. None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not. Lee. Lee. Are you okay?
Goodness, you don't know, Bruno. Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound.
Small protuberances of the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. I can't read. The best music boxes to be invented use a rotating cylinder with
Protuberances.
sticks on it. Protuberances.
Protuberances. Okay, you know what? But over time, a new type of player was produced, which uses discs such as these. With their development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide all around the globe.
My keybinds were broken. That's stupid. Why exactly?
Well, because discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
It's wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present.
But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another. I'm gonna make a compilation of just screenshots of Ryunosuke asking questions. And we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. Let's stop with the big words, shall we, and go back to simple words like objection. I see, so that's why. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's heavy for you. Only thinking too far.
But my dear girl, an unresolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution. Oh, so I was texting my friend at the exact same time, and for some reason it says, "It's your birthday, Apollo." His
What?
name is not Apollo.
Aw.
His name is not Apollo. How do I spell apologize? Apologize.
One L.
There we go. But surely all the different— oh, this is Ryunosuke. Whoa, I said it like a white person. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate your attic— vacate the attic room. What?
Agnes McGilded. What is McGilded's like connection to the whole case anyway?
He had the government secrets. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it's only been— hold on a second. Hold on a second. I need to make a bit.
Okay.
Yes, it's only been 5 months since that grisly case on YouTube. Oh, why is Van Ziek's— huh? Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Hey, it's me. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial,
The newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case.
the murder of the brickmaker and Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Well, not really. But
Okay. Oh my god, it's Zach Grammary!
in the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. Although Mr. McGilded was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. I thought he was guilty from the beginning. I saw him, I'm like, ooh.
Guilty.
1 second.
What are you texting, bro?
My teacher. Nope, no need to. There we go. It would appear this case is not yet closed.
Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Jeannie will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes, you may be right.
Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windenbank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he?
Oh no, this is... Did he? Susato? Yes, he definitely did mention it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Were his words, I believe.
So you heard about it, did you? I expect you was as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windenbank's storeroom, gathering dust.
My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. In the pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it. More secure than a bank's vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Harry? Was that safe and secure?
Well, there may be the occasional mix-up, caused by certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that basketball story, Harry?
Top 10 moments before disaster.
Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it.
I... 中座と中座と中座と中座
What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room?
Lucy, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well,
That's because Miss Sithel is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
Runa, the Hound of the Baskervilles, has never been published.
What?
When I showed Harry the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see.
So that's why the manuscript is at Windibanks?
And yet, how could Susie know its full title? Well, Harry, what's going on?
That's a really hot pose, not gonna lie.
Ah. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived.
Woohoo!
Miss Lestrade!
It was a bad idea. Anyway, what Malcolm? I'm going.
No, wait! Miss Lestrade! Someone save me from this ridiculously awkward situation. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris?
Oh yes, just wait there, Jimmy. We'll see everything ready in a jiffy. I'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please, make yourself at home.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. Won't say you to some Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn. I don't know my composers. I won't take no for an answer. Mendelssohn it is, then. And Wagahai is here too. Yeah. Yeah. That evening, Iris prepared all of us a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves, well into the night. KG retired to bed early. He said he had something to do. And Mr. Valiant went to work, he said. I wonder what they're doing right now. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Suzuko's theme. Oh yes, Iris's cooking was truly divine.
And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now.
Best of all, But I could steal the glasses from His Lordship's face next time we're in court. Naruhodo-san. Could I consult with you about something? I wonder.
What's the matter, Susato-san?
It's the telegram I received.
One letter arrived first thing this morning, I suppose.
I've been summoned.
What? Summoned? What do you mean?
The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has come to see me.
The Lord Chief Justice? When?
Tomorrow morning.
What? Then we have to start preparing at once!
Oh no! That won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone.
Alone? What on earth for?
I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow.
What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. I hope you're ready to talk a lot. Lee, this is mostly you. Who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friends.
Ah, Iris. Hello again.
He's so pretty. He's so gorgeous. And Gina, too. Yes, Yumi's going to stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea.
KG, join the girls!
he's the girls.
He's part of the girls.
He's part of the girls. I've done so much today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful?
You mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we?
I think I will within the new natural talent. Can earn a living from it. Iris, no.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
Well, you see. I came to attend this.
Oh, wait, what? That's mine!
Oh my. However did you? Told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it.
Ah, yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
So anyway, here. You can have it back. Not that I really understood why you wear it, though.
Have you seen this one post on Twitter? Thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yes, good night.
So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny? I think I wouldn't fancy my chances with a lawyer with a lot of what lives in a place like this. Yes, me too.
It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. I didn't even need to perceive for that one.
I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript.
Yes, I suppose she probably does. You can't just drop this on me.
Which one is this?
You can't just drop this on me.
Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time. Please. Alright. understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris. Not at all. I don't know what all this is about really, but... It's a story you made up, is it, Iris? Script or whatever you call it. It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in these diaries. Daddies? That's right. I don't suppose I mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but my daddy was Hurley's assistant once. His partner. They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was as surprised as you were, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's the old man now then? He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone for a very long time. So, I've never really met him. Oh. Right.
Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her.
Ask her else.
Can I ask her? Is that what can I do that? Oh my god, I can. Let's do it. Your parents. I've realized I don't know anything about your parents, Gina.
I ain't got any, have I? Never did I? Oh. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born. Not even our mums. But we all stick together. The older ones look after the little ones and make sure they get by. That's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, Divin's my life. I love it. I get out of it every time I let some pompous idiots pass. And that's all we all afford to eat. Like Robin, ain't it? So I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything alright. But I haven't listened to what Iris just said. It sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. Oh! I mean, if you know you never had them, don't feel like you always wanted to meet them. It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. Oh, Iris. Poor Gina.
I just had her. Yes!
Yeah! What are you doing?
Who's on my team?
Look, I'm not gonna steal nothing, right? It's all junk anyway.
Who's on my team? Charming, I suppose. Okay, dang it, no one's on my team. Come on, guys. It's a shovel.
Isn't that how that's a spade?
It's a shovel.
It's a spade.
No, it's Iris. This is the Hound of the Baskerville story. I take it it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts?
That's right. I thought it was fascinating.
It was never solved. What?
But it's different somehow. From the other cases, I mean.
Oh, how?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way.
It was never solved.
Just after I'd written it, I showed the manuscript to Harley.
It was never told.
Harry and Hurley and anyways.
He turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that.
I swear to God, I've written that straight into the thing. It pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances.
Why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say. Not now. So please, do not ask me.
Alright then. I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris. When the time is right. In the meantime, Darian. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Winterbank, isn't it?
Yes. Harry said it had to be somewhere very safe. It really gets my goat, it does. He's reading like a child. I mean, that's what it is. Keeping secrets like that.
I mean, she is a child. She's 10, so.
I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean.
Eh?
He said... If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason.
I think so too. You're not too trusting for your own good. But you can't pull none of the wood over my eyes. Wool over my eyes. Chum is lying to you, Iris. I bet my life on it.
Gee, I wonder how.
What?
Harry's lying to me? I swear, I wrote I wrote a script like this with Iris and Aster. I literally wrote it. Lying to us in a lot of ways.
Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris?
Well, he reckons he bumped that manuscript or whatever, right? Come on, it's obviously a load of rubbish. Why? Why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. That story was really an old Winterbank story. There's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it.
Was she listening to that conversation?
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Harry would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Ha! Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet.
How old are you, girl?
17.
Oh my god. One more year and... Literally, actually, 6 months, and you're an adult!
For real? Telling you, the manuscript ain't that Winterbank's. You'd soon see if you had a look. Even if you think you can't trust them, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them.
This gave me angst ideas.
I'm honest. I have wondered if Harry's telling me the truth sometimes.
Me?
But I don't mean it. I don't think he sold it. I mean, sometimes I wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know.
He hid it in
Yeah,
Japan.
in Japan. In Japan, bro.
Though it's wrong of me to doubt that.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come on, Ginny. We should go back downstairs. Yeah. Alright. And please, don't mention any of this to Hallie, will you?
No. Of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina.
You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow. For tomorrow morning. I insist. Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night, then.
Iris. Sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult. Deep down, she's still just a child. Sounds familiar.
I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Mr. Naruhodo. Naruhodo-san. Honestly, that just...
That's me. Dr. John H. Wilson. Iris's father. But also, the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo. That voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone. Gina? She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received the distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. Now, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now. Over an hour? If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow. What's this about? Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night?
But isn't the independent?
That's Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Windibank's... Oh no.
Simple. That's why we're really in the middle of Miss Windibank's room. Black. There's no way someone halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Sorry, Iris. If you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you.
Could Gina have gone? It seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? No, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. Susato.
At once.
Miss Susato! The door to Windibank's. It's open!
The lamp is burning.
It must be Gina, mustn't it? Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come, there's not a moment to lose. Clearly something is afoot inside. God, that calendar always brings me back memories when I was first playing this. And I was like, please don't be dead, please don't be dead. And I see blood on the wall. I'm like, no! There's no one here. Oh, yes. There is. Ah!
Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes!
What the? Sholm's been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruto. But after them, go! Right.
Mr. Sholmes.
Blast. I've lost them.
Hello, what we here? The alarm was just raised by the pawnbrokers, sir. Did you know something about that?
Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot.
Shot?
With the policeman close behind me, I ran back to Windibanks. Hey, I know this track. He uses Boku? That's funny.
あの扉の向こうだ。早く。椎名さん。
That's crazy, bro. Are we ending it up there?
We're out for today.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to continue. No, I don't want to do this. Bang!
So shows you weren't even shot.
It's okay. I've acted being shot before.
Yeah.
A lot
Shot
of times in a
dead.
week. Yeah, I just screamed as loud as I possibly could. That's a lie. I didn't scream as loud as I possibly could.